They're the suburbs of Sydney that house some of the country's most elite schools.
An online petition has gone viral.
Young men bragging about all of this getting with girls and stuff.
I had a great time at school, but there was obviously a slut-shaming culture.
But beyond their walls and idyllic grounds, young women want to be heard.
The words in my initial Instagram poll were, have you or has anyone close to you ever been sexually assaulted by someone who went to an all-boys school in Sydney?
Chanel Contos is 22. She went to a Sydney private school, Kambala, and was sexually abused by a student from a nearby school. Chanel is now studying education and gender and started a survey to see if others had similar experiences.
It all comes back down to education. It's the fact that people don't know that their partners can rape them. It's the fact that people don't know that it's not okay to be woken up when by someone having sex with you.
Within a week, more than 5,000 young people have come forward with testimonies of sexual assault by students at schools. What started as an issue focusing on private schools in Sydney has now revealed stories of sexual assault by students from Catholic and public schools all over the country as well.
It shows that there is literally thousands and thousands of these experiences amongst schools in Australia.
Bronte went to a private school in Sydney's harbourside suburb of Mosman. She's 19. Like Chanel, a male student assaulted her when she was a young teenager.
I held a New Year's party when my parents were away, and by the time everyone showed up, I was very, very drunk. And from what I can remember, he led me upstairs and he forced me on my bed, and I vomited on myself and he took my clothes off. And he was like, let's do this. And I was like, I don't want to, I don't feel well.
It took 2 years for Bronte to understand that she was sexually assaulted.
At the time, I didn't really understand what was going on. And it kind of made sense once I started understanding what consent meant, because I didn't understand what it meant at the time.
Without enough education about consent, the sexual assault survivors who've come forward were not aware they'd been abused.
I think we just need to change, and I think the way to do it is to be vocal about it.
Educational institutions should be teaching students about sex and consent.
Since young sexual assault survivors have started coming forward, there's been a search for a scapegoat. Some say parents, others say alcohol or single-sex schools, but young women here point to the education system, which they say has some failings to confront.
I find it incredibly disappointing that you need to have multiple women's voices to be heard before they're taken seriously.
Dr. Bryony Scott has been the principal of a private school for girls in Sydney for a decade. She agrees adults in power must do more.
Every school everywhere, as far as I can tell, is reviewing, going, what are we doing? Are we doing enough? Our teachers are not trained in psychological care or rape counselling or anything, so I actually think they're doing a phenomenal job to the best of their ability. We need to keep upskilling them. But we are also not going to win if the answer is only that schools need to be doing more.
We hadn't received enough consent education.
These young women decided to tackle the problem themselves. They started an organisation to run education workshops on consent at schools and universities.
We both went to a private girls' school. We came out as really empowered young women in most areas apart from sex, specifically consent. If you're not learning about it at home and you're not learning about it at school, where are you learning it?
So consent is an enthusiastic yes.
Interesting, because
It covers things like how to actually say no, how to recognise when situations might be coercive and when you might be pressured into saying what you think is a yes.
Pick who's going to be person A and who's going to be...
What I don't want is for these young people to wait 30 or 40 years before they put their hand up and say, me too.
I think the responsibility of schools is definitely to step up right now and instead of being ashamed of what has happened, realise that change needs to happen and not be scared to admit that they have failed some of us and think about how they need to change.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.